Yes, sir, you can begin.
Good evening, everyone. No sanction can stand against ignited minds. Nations consist of people, and with their effort, a nation can accomplish all it could ever want, said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. On this note, I welcome all of you to this beautiful evening. First and foremost, I would like to welcome Rafsina MK of 4th Year Civil to deliver the welcome address. Welcome, Rafsina.
A very warm good afternoon to each one of you for being here with us today. Recognizing the urgent need, Terry Policy Center Smart Campus Cloud Network has determined to unleash the high octane energy of youth in educational institutes. It is therefore landing Not Zero Net Zero initiative to achieve carbon neutrality in university campuses. So, I hereby welcome our principal, Dr. P.R. Sri Mahadevan Pillai Sir, Director Academics, Ahalya Health Heritage and Knowledge Village. I also welcome all the students of final year for being here with us today. Welcome all.
Thank you, Rafsina. Without any further delay, I would like to welcome our Principal, Director Academics, Ahalya Health Heritage and Knowledge Village, Dr. P.R. Sri Mahadevan Pillai Sir, to deliver the inaugural address. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, my dear staff and students. As you know, this is a session for a sensitization, a national level sensitization on climate change and carbon zero campus initiative. As you know, carbon zero concept is almost 2 decades old, in which we believe that by reducing the carbon emissions, the emitted carbon can be sequestrated or neutralized in the same area which produced the carbon, or else the net carbon output will be zero. The carbon produced minus carbon absorbed. Basically, the carbon produced is mostly in oxidized form, and carbon absorbed is also mostly in oxidized form because plants only do absorb carbon and its compounds. The living organisms like human beings or animals don't have the capacity to absorb carbon. So we depend solely on plants to absorb the carbon. And so that the net carbon release is almost zero, which we call as the carbon neutral phenomena or carbon neutral campus we like to have in Ahalya. So what we have to do basically is we have to reduce the emission of carbon, that is avoiding as much of burning of fuel, burning of fuels for automobile purpose, for cooking purpose, everywhere, by optimizing the burning of carbon. Even for electricity generation, we have to reduce the carbon emission. That way, we have to reduce the emission, and on one side, we have to increase the absorption of carbon compounds like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide by planting more trees. So the uh, carbon neutral campus concept should have a two-faceted deal, one for reducing the carbon emission and the other for increasing the carbon absorption by planting more trees. So this sense has to be spread to every human being. Otherwise, it is predicted that by the end of the century, the atmospheric temperature will change by increase by 4 degrees centigrade, which is a very dangerous phenomenon. So all of us have to be aware that we will make this earth uninhabitable if we are going for uncontrolled emission of carbon and less absorption of carbon. So on this day, we all have to spread the message that we have to reduce the emission of carbon and increase the absorption of carbon dioxide so that the earth becomes livable hereafter also. I'm not happy that everybody did join this. Only around 10% of the students have joined. Others, man, because this is not a compulsory session. This is an optional session which is meant for students and teachers who love the nation, who love the world, and who love to live in this country and this world for more time. So I'm not taking much time. With this basic introduction, I join all of you, and I declare that this session is inaugurated for the Ahalya School of Engineering and Technology. Thank you very much for being with us. And even if the other students are absent here, please spread this message to them so that at least in the coming generation, we are not spoiling the basic right of our next generation to survive on this earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words. Now, let me welcome Dishma B of 4th year civil to dictate the pledge. And I request all of you to turn on the mic, turn on the camera, and mute your mic. And she will dictate the pledge and just repeat it. Please turn on your camera and mute your mic.
Pledge for Carbon Neutral University Educational Institute. Not zero, net zero. Be the change that you would like to see in the world, said Mahatma Gandhi. We, Ahalya School of Engineering and Technology, are determined to change ourselves by undertaking actions before telling others to act. Recognizing that climate change is a planetary change of our generation and the dire need to take urgent actions to mitigate it. Noting that climate change is running faster than actions by humanity, pushing the whole planet Earth into the existential crisis. Acknowledging the warning by Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC to limit the rise in temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius or not more than 2 degrees Celsius above the pre industrial level to avoid the catastrophe. Realizing that only way out of the impending climate crisis is to achieve the carbon neutrality by 2050 or latest by 2075. Noting the opportunity of partnership offered by Terry Policy Center through its Smart Campus Cloud Network to empower and guide us to develop the roadmap towards carbon neutrality and its implementation through digital dashboard and tracking app. We, in our Ahalya School of Engineering and Technology, endeavor to empower youth potential for research and innovation. We pledge to become carbon neutrality not later than that stipulated by IPCC through enhancing the energy efficiency, deploying the renewable energy, innovating the sources of energy like hydrogen, waste, and others, encouraging the research to use digital technologies, offsetting the carbon dioxide through tree plantation and methods. We agree to share the progress and the case studies through SCC and dashboard of Terry Policy Center, pledging to become carbon neutral campus, Ahalya School of Engineering and Technology, Palakkad.
Thank you, Dishma, for the wonderful speech and pledge. Thank you so much. And now I welcome Sharika Ramesh of 4th Year Civil to deliver the vote of thanks. Welcome, Sharika.
Good evening to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank Dr. Sri Mahadevan Pillai sir, Director Academics, Ahalya Health, Heritage and Knowledge Village, for his words of encouragement. His able guidance has always encouraged us. I thank him for his kindness, his interest, and continued support. And also my heartfelt thanks to all my dear finalists for your enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Once again, thank you all and have a great day.
Once again, I thank each and every one of you for sparing your time and joining with us in this beautiful evening. I request everyone to kindly leave the meeting so that the next batch can join. Thank you so much, guys.
Students from final years can leave so that the next team can join. And sir, I kindly request you to wait for 5 minutes, then we can restart the second session again because all our faculty members will be joining and all our third year students will be joining. So I kindly request you to wait for 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, okay, I'll be waiting. In between, I lost connection for 2-3 minutes. I have
Ah,
rejoined. Okay.
okay, sir. Okay. Okay, thank you.